When are statistics not really statistics? Well, I think when they don't answer the question that you have. Hey, it's Bill Gross. This is my weekly real estate market update. And I commonly find real estate industry news to be worse than the regular news or worse than the political news. Whichever side you're on politics, you think the news is bad. In real estate, I think it's worse. I'm going to show you why. Today's a perfect example. Today, hat tip to Jill Spatty, great real estate agent, friend of my program, and a colleague. She sent me this article from Yahoo Finance knowing I'd be able to tear it apart. Let's take a look at it. So Mark Twain is famously noted for the phrase, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. And I think today's Yahoo Finance article quoting Redfin statistics is a perfect example of that. Let's take a look at it. So here it is, Yahoo Finance, which normally you think of as being a credible source. And housing, luxury home sales plunge as mortgage rates rise. Now, it might be coincidence that mortgage rates rises, or sales plunging and mortgage rate rise might be related. We don't really know that, but they throw that in to add a little more fear. And notice the word plunge, not decline, and it's sales, not sales units or sales dollars, but sales. Now, when you think of sales, what does that sound like? Less business. That's not true here. There's less unit sales, but there's the same number of sales, or maybe more. Let's get into the data. So in Yahoo Finance, they quote a statistic that says that the number of homes that sold declined from over a year ago by 28%. And that's true. But what does that mean? It's true in compared to what? And then they have this very scary looking graph. Oh, wow, look at that plunge. It's down below what it was here. But notice that this is year-over-year sales increases. This is what we call the historic global pandemic period that we're still in the tail end of. And that's why the statistics seem to be so out of the ordinary, because our economy is still adjusting to that which happened before. But the question is, what's really happening in the market? Let's look at the actual data and the actual statistics to see what's true. So this is from my multiple listing service, which is themls.com. And you can see the number of homes that closed goes up and down periodically. Now this is the pandemic period, so this is a little different. But we go up, down, a little higher, up, down in 2018, up, and then down, up and down, but way up, down. Notice the high here is still higher than half the year from before. Up again more, and then it came down, up again. And by this number here, this is of March 2022, is still higher, almost the same height as the peak in 2018, right? So you can see now it's true that the number of homes dropped down in July, and then August we're back to about 14,000. So even the lowest point was 12,000 sales from a high of 21,000, or about a 45% drop in units from the highest over a year ago to now. Another way to look at it is year over year. So you see in July 2022, compared to July 2021, the drop is from 14,000 to 20, about a 33% drop in units sold. And that's the part that I think is scariest and referred to in the article. But let's go a little further, because home prices went up in sales dramatically. How about the actual total sales, the number of homes times the sales price they sold for? And those numbers are much less scary. You can see the general upward trend. Again, this is the pandemic period. And even with the plunging, quote marks, plunging home sales, we're still higher than the record before the pandemic. We've been above that level almost entirely for the last 2 years, or for the majority of the last 2 years. So we look at the total amount of sales. That'd be like saying McDonald's sold, 3 less hamburgers, but the price of the hamburgers went up by 4 times. Net, their sales are up. In our case, our sales are still higher than they were pre-pandemic, even with the plunge. And the underlying factor that's causing that is the dollar per square foot. We can see the sold per square foot back in 2017 was $361. Before the pandemic was maybe, $420. And today it is $564. So the value of the houses have gone up enough to where with the lower units, the prices went up and the overall sales are still high by historic standards. So what does all that mean? Well, I don't know, but going forward though, there is a dark cloud on the horizon, which is mortgage rates. You should keep your eyes out because the news is reporting what's true is that the mortgage prices went up a couple weeks ago. What they're not reporting is what's happened since. You'll see in the news that the MBA survey or the Freddie Mac survey, that we're at 6.25%. What they're not telling you is the real mortgage rate today is 6.7%. So rates jumped up about 0.5% here at the end of the week. Now I have a crystal ball. Actually, I do. I have a crystal ball back there. It doesn't do anything. But if China invades Taiwan, who knows what happens to the economy? If Russia and Ukraine drop nukes on each other, I imagine it'll be a disaster. So you have to know the future in order to predict the future results. But where we sit now, rates are high and are cooling demand. But by all historical standards, we still are what you would think is close to a record activity or certainly a very healthy market. And so, again, that's where we are today. They plunged in units because we went up so much in price. And the sales level now is still high by historical standards, though it looks like it's going to be cooling down a little further. What does it mean for you? Well, again, if you have to sell, great time to sell, but we've got to sharpen our pencil. Make sure we look at those buyers really closely. That's why you need a professional realtor to vet the deal and make sure it goes through. And if you're looking to buy a property, there's more opportunity than before. Let's get you some great loan products like a buy down or an adjustable rate that's appropriate for you to save some money in the short run if that's what you're looking to do. So if I can help, give me a call, Bill Gross, the LA Probate Expert. And as always, make today your best day ever. Thanks.